Hey everybody, it's Christopher Smith. This video should last just under 15 minutes, and I'm going to talk about the range bands trend dashboard for TradeStation. So here's a standard disclaimer regarding trading products. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please be careful. Okay, the goals of the presentation, we're going to quickly review the range bands indicator. If you haven't seen my other video, please go back and take a look at that. I want to talk about the range bands trend dashboard, which is a tool to help you identify, find trend trading opportunities. I'm going to talk about how we can use the tool to build a database back test results, and take a look at what the tool tells us about the markets right now. So range bands, they're a universal trend following indicator that give you a simple, unambiguous indication of trend direction. They paint they can be used on any chart in any time frame. And they paint the bars blue for an uptrend, red for downtrend, or green for neutral or no trend. We also know that they work very well in a trending market, and they don't work so well in a sideways or choppy market. Okay, so looking for trading opportunities with TradeStation, the typical radar screen looks something like this. This is a standard radar screen, and I started out by just putting my symbols over here on the left and using a symbol link between the radar screen and the chart. I usually just go through the charts one at a time and see what they say. But I found this display not very intuitive for trend trading and finding trading opportunities. So that's the reason why I put together the range bands trend dashboard, which looks like this. Now let's go through the columns one at a time. You have your symbols, of course. You have your time frame, and you have your last price indication. And this is color coded so that when the last price is in red, you're in a downtrend, green for neutral, or blue, you're in an uptrend. So you can see, looking at this display here, that almost everything is in a neutral or downtrend except for Verizon, which is in an uptrend because this is blue. The next column here is the reversal indicator. This shows or displays when the chart has a reversal from either a green or blue to a red candle, or a green to a red candle. In this case, we can see QQQ has reversed. So this kind of draws your attention right to that symbol. The next column here is the current trend that you're in. So you can see we're in a downtrend here because we're red, as opposed to, say, GoPro, where we're in a downtrend, but we haven't had a change of indication. Next column here is your risk, or the number of points the price would have to move against you in order for the trend to change. In this case of Verizon here, we can see $1.42 as a number, and this number is always written, or always displayed as a negative number since it's risk. It's essentially the amount of risk in the trade. That's the number of points that Verizon would have to move against you in order for the trend to change from blue to red. So essentially, it's the risk in the trade. That's why it's displayed as a negative number. These next columns here show you the strategy equity results of how you would do had you traded the range band symbol against this range band system against this individual signal here. So we can see that most of this shows zeros. The reason for that is I renamed my file. So let me just go back and rename the results file, and I'll show you how this all works. Okay, so let's delete that, and let's rename my old file to back. Okay. Now what I wanted to do is figure out a way to display the results. I mean, TradeStation is good at a lot of things, but it's not so good at showing you the results of a system against a whole series of a strategy against a whole series of symbols. So that's what this tool does. The way it works is basically we have the radar screen linked to these other charts over here on the right. In the course of researching this, I found out there's a TradeStation indicator called strategy equity that you can apply this to a chart, and it tells you the results of what the results of trading that strategy would be for any given bar on the chart. So I took that concept and I made a series of indicators called strategy equity set, strategy equity get. So when you apply these indicators to the chart, when the symbol changes, the strategy gets applied to the charts, and the indicator takes the results and writes them to a file. And then I have another indicator that reads the results out of that file and displays them here as columns on the radar screen. So this is the way the file looks. It's called btresults.ini. In the case of Verizon, let's take a look at Verizon. We can see here that the symbol is written. This is a text file or an INI file if you know Windows. This is the symbol is written in square brackets here. The time frame for the chart 2.0 is TradeStation's way of coding. It's a daily chart with no number of bars. I should say there's no bar aggregation. And then buy and hold, short only and long only, is a text string that's written as an input to the indicator. So, for example, this chart right here, if you look at the format strategies, we have the short entry and short exit strategies applied to this chart, and we're sending as input to the strategy equity set short only, so it's going to take the results and write this to an individual line in the INI file. Then over here we have the strategy equity get that takes the results and populates the dashboard. So we have the short only strategies applied to this chart, the long only strategies applied to this chart. Another chart that you can't see underneath here is the strategy equity buy and hold. I made a very simple strategy here that simply buys the stock on the first bar and holds onto it. So this strategy equity buy and hold set takes this the results of buy and hold and writes it to the file, and then those results get populated from this file over here. So when you first get the indicator, you'll notice that you'll find that all these results over here are empty or zero, and you need to go through and individually visit each individual chart in order to populate the results. You'll also notice that when you switch between the symbols, the results won't necessarily update right away. You have to click on this cell in the upper left corner to highlight the entire radar screen and press Control-R, or select View Refresh in order for the display to paint. So this is helpful because it gives you an idea how well you would have done had you followed the range bands strategy for this individual symbol. And we can see in the case of SPY, we would have made 11.95% over the past year had we traded the long-only strategy. Would have lost 5.7% had we traded the short-only strategy. We would have made 8.95% if we did buy and hold. Now, I mentioned over the last year, now a couple of things to make all this work. First, the time frame has to match, this interval here has to match the time frame on these charts over here on the right. Second of all, you need to have the symbol link set up. In your case, I use the blue symbol link here between the radar screen and the charts. And third, you need to have your properties for the symbol. You need to load a consistent amount of data, or you need to decide what your look-back period is. And in the case of this, I set the look-back period for my symbols to start on 1/1 of 2016, so I can get year-to-date results. So if you want to look farther back, you can set this to whatever date range you like. Set it as default. Just make sure that the date ranges are the same for all three charts, so that you get a consistent idea of a consistent look-back period. So that's the way the trend dashboard works. It's intended to help you find trend trading opportunities and let you know how well the symbols, the strategies would have done. So you can also use the same construct here to create dashboards for any other systems that you want to test. For example, I made this other dashboard here that where I'm looking at the results of the range bands 5-minute day trader system across a series of symbols. So here you can see that for Alexion Pharmaceuticals, the system made 9.23% for the past year. And so this set of indicators is very helpful for any strategy that you have that you want to see how it applies to a series of charts. You can want to build your database of backtest results. They're very handy in doing that. And the indicators are strategy equity set, which is applied to the individual chart and populates the BT results.ini. Strategy equity get reads the results out of the BT results.ini, populates the radar screen, and then strategy equity buy and hold set do the same things, except they use the open equity because buy and hold never sells. Buy and hold set is applied to the chart, and buy and hold get takes the results and populates the radar screen. So I think it's a pretty powerful set of tools, and they come all populated for you on the range bands trend dashboard here. So what does this tool tell us about the markets right now? As I mentioned initially, almost everything is in a neutral or a downtrend at this point, except for Verizon, still in a pretty strong uptrend. You can see we had a great move to the upside here with Verizon as it came down and broke that trend line. So using this, I noticed this in the last few days here. We had reversals to the downside in XLB, which is the Select Sector Materials ETF. So I used this as an opportunity to put on a bearish position here. I bought a put contract, which expires in January, and there was very little premium in it. I think it was like a 52 put. I think I paid like $1 for it. So it was actually a 51 put. I paid close to $1 for it, so it was very little premium built into that. And I did a similar thing in XLP on Friday. That's the Select Consumer Staples. I went with this one because there was a pretty well-established downtrend, I thought, looking at the chart, and that I had a bearish crossover in the range bands. And looking at this, you could see that the short-only system didn't really do particularly well over the past year. And keep in mind these results here are backward-looking, so they should give you an indication of how much confidence you have in the signal. But in this case, I thought it was pretty well established that we're in a downtrend here. So I put on some short positions here in both XLP, XLB, and also XLF, which hasn't been working out quite as well. But we can see that a couple days back I had a bearish indication that on an intraday basis that didn't turn out. But overall, I think the market's extended to the upside here, and looking at the trend dashboard, we can see that. Also, interestingly here, if we take a look at the IEF and SHY, these are your bond ETFs, your short and intermediate term bond ETFs also had reversals to the upside here. So what this tells me is that the market's had a big move to the upside, and I'm not bailing out of my longs, my index longs I stick with for the long term because the odds are very good you're going to make money if you just buy and hold those. But I did put on a couple of bearish positions here in the Select Sector ETFs. Looking for a little bit of a downside move, not looking for a big downside move here, but I think the tool has told me that we see a crossover to the downside here, and I positioned myself accordingly. So that's the range bands trend dashboard. I find it very helpful for identifying trend trading opportunities. Again, it draws you immediately to the symbols where you can take action. Here's an interesting one. CSX Railroad has really been blue here for a long time. I mean, all the way our last bearish candle here was back in September. I wonder why we don't see that up here. Move these bars a little closer together. Yeah. Okay, you can see we haven't had a red bar in CSX Railroad since early September. We've had a huge move to the upside. Now we've had a red bar. So that's another indication that things are turning over, rolling over here. And I'm not expecting a big down move, but I just think it's interesting that the tool calls your attention to these symbols that are making moves, as indicated by the range bands indicator. So that's it. So if you're interested in the range bands trend dashboard, you can find it here on the Trading App Store. It's going to be $8 per month. I have a 30-day free trial. So if you're interested in taking a look, give it a try. And you have 30 days to try it out and see if you like it. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks for helping to make range bands one of the most popular indicators in the TradeStation Trading App Store. All the best with your trading in 2017, and have a great day.